I'm not that easy to tame. You should see me under these lights. All my tears turn to ice. That's the sweetest escape.
What if I told you that the song making the whole world jump was almost discarded forever? That Jump, Blackpink's record-breaking global hit of 2025, almost never reached the girls' hands. Just imagine, a studio session in Miami, January 2024, 3 frustrated producers staring at a track they themselves thought was too radical, too revolutionary to exist. And then, like a miracle disguised as chance, this song found its true destiny. But what happened in that studio changed forever, not just Blackpink, but the entire music industry. Stay with me, because this story will make you question everything you thought you knew about how hits are born. It was January 23rd, 2024. Miami was breathing that humid heat typical of tropical summer, and inside Sony Studios, 3 men were sweating not from the weather, but from the creative tension hanging in the air. Diplo, the name behind Major Lazer, was there with Ape Drums and a young Argentine producer named Zecca, the same one who had worked with Bizarrap on that explosive collaboration with Shakira. Picture the scene: walls covered in acoustic foam, headphones scattered across the table, screens flashing with sound waves that looked like digital earthquakes. They didn't know it, but they were about to create something that would challenge everything electronic music and K-pop had ever tried to do together. The session had started as an attempt to revive the electro-clash movement of the 2000s, that aggressive mix of electronic and punk that made dance floors boil with raw energy. But what came out of that equipment was something even they couldn't define. Dude, this isn't music, it's a sonic accident, Diplo must have thought when the first beats of Jump started taking shape. The track jumped between techno, drill, hardstyle, eurodance, and trance like a hyperactive child who can't sit still. It was a radical mixture that evoked the 1997 rave anthem Meet Her at the Love Parade, but with a modern aggressiveness that cut like glass. For hours, they shaped this sonic monster. Every beat was an explosion, every synthesizer an emergency siren. But when they finished, there was an awkward silence in the studio. Was it music? Was it art? Or was it pure madness transformed into sound? What do you do when you create something so radical that you yourself do not know what to do with it? Diplo and his team made a decision that almost changed history. They archived Jump. Just like that. They stored the track in a digital folder and pretended it never existed. For months, Jump remained like an electronic ghost, a well-kept secret in the studio's servers. The song almost never reached Blackpink. Just imagine what a tragedy that would have been for world music. But here's the most fascinating part of the story. While Jump was frozen in time, the music world was going through a creative crisis. K-pop was becoming predictable, electronic tracks were following tired formulas, and fans were starting to ask for something, anything, that would surprise them again. It was as if the universe was preparing the stage for the triumphant return of a song that had been born before its time. At some point in 2024, someone from Blackpink's team heard about that mysterious track that Diplo had hidden away. We don't know exactly how this happened. Maybe it was a casual conversation, a favor between producers, or even destiny intervening. But when Teddy, Blackpink's main producer, put on his headphones and hit play, something magical happened. They wanted to do something that would shock people, Diplo revealed later. And Jump was exactly that, an electric shock straight to the soul of whoever listened. Imagine Teddy in that moment, hearing that sonic explosion and thinking, this isn't just a song, it's a declaration of war against mediocrity. The Blackpink girls had just returned to the stage after a hiatus, and they needed something that would prove they were still the queens of innovation in K-pop. When Jennie, Jisoo, Rosé and Lazer heard Jump for the first time, it must have been like someone had flipped a switch in their artistic souls. It was exactly the kind of impossible, untamable, and addictive music they needed to mark their comeback. But transforming that electronic monster into a Blackpink song wasn't simple. It was like trying to tame a dragon with bare hands. The original track was pure electronic aggression, but it needed to gain the soul, sensuality, and unique attitude of the girls. Jennie and Jisoo shared glimpses of the pre-production process on their Instagram accounts, and even those fragments showed the intensity of the work. Endless vocal sessions, experiments with harmonies that defied the laws of traditional music, and an obsessive search for perfection. During the music video shoot, something even more surreal happened. Rumors spread across the internet that the video had been made with artificial intelligence. But when behind-the-scenes images leaked, the truth was even more impressive. Real sets, physical props, and all four girls giving everything in each take. It was as if they were proving that in an era of digital tricks and technological shortcuts, real art still came from sweat, passion, and human dedication. And then July 2025 arrived. Jump debuted straight at #1 on the Billboard Global 200 with 123 million streams and 14,000 copies sold worldwide in the first week. It wasn't just a hit. It was a phenomenon that redefined what pop music could be. It was the first song in 4 months to cross the barrier of 100 million streams globally, since Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars did it with Die With a Smile. But Jump wasn't just competing with other hits, it was creating an entirely new musical category. People didn't just listen to Jump, they experienced it. It was impossible to stay still when those beats started. It was as if the song had been programmed directly into human DNA to provoke movement, ecstasy, total liberation. On social media, videos of people dancing to Jump multiplied like a virus. But these weren't choreographed dances. They were explosions of pure energy, as if each person was channeling the same raw force that Diplo, Ape Drums, and Zecca had captured in that Miami studio. Today, when you listen to Jump, you're hearing more than a song. You're hearing the story of how true art never dies. It just waits for the right moment to be born. You're hearing the sound of 4 women who refused to do the obvious and chose to embrace the impossible. As Diplo himself said, if you listen to some old Blackpink, old BTS, or ATs, they'll put 6 genres in one song. They don't care about anything. And it was exactly this rebellious attitude that transformed a sonic accident from Miami into a global revolution. Jump proved that there are still songs capable of changing the world, that there are still artists willing to risk everything for something truly new, and that when talent meets audacity, miracles happen. Every time you hit play on Jump, you're participating in that revolution. You're saying yes to innovation, to risk, to the wild beauty of what happens when artists refuse to accept limits. And here's the most chilling truth of this entire story. If Diplo had given up on that impossible track in January 2024, if Blackpink had chosen something safer, if any of these people had chosen the easy path, Jump would never have existed. The world would have lost forever one of the most revolutionary songs ever created. This makes me think, how many other Jumps are out there, forgotten in digital folders, discarded for being too radical? How many musical revolutions die before they're even born because someone is afraid to try something different? Jump isn't just a song. It's a reminder that the best things in life happen when we have the courage to leap into the unknown. Do you believe this story really happened like this? That a song can be born from an accident and become a global revolution? If this story touched you in some way, it's because it needed to reach you today. Subscribe to the channel. Tell us what city you're watching from. Share this story with your friends on WhatsApp. Leave your like, and we'll see you in the next video. Until then.
So come up with me, I'll take you high. That prima donna spice up your life. You know I got the shit that you like.